Hello there, everyone. My name's Andrew.
And I'm Kassy.
And this is the Culips English Podcast. Hello, friends. Welcome back to Culips. This is Catch Word. And if you're not sure what that is, or if you're new to Culips, let me explain. Catch Word is our series for intermediate and advanced English learners, where we teach you idioms, phrasal verbs, and expressions that will help improve your English listening and speaking. Joining me today is my co-host, Kassy, and we're going to teach you all about two idiomatic expressions about leaving.
Yeah, that's right, Andrew. Especially when you leave somewhere very quickly. Now, everyone, don't forget that there is a study guide and transcript for this episode that's available for all Culips members. We recommend following along with the study guide while you listen to this lesson with us today. If you're not a member yet, but you want to join, you can learn all the details and sign up on our website, culips.com, culips.com.
And we want to give a shout out to one of our listeners named Katz, who left us an awesome review and a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts. Now, Katz wrote, "Thanks for providing such a good podcast for learning English. I'm Chinese, but I'm living in Germany now. I started listening to your podcast this year. I've really improved my spoken English and learned lots of words and expressions from Catch Word. Your voices are really passionate and pleasant, and I really enjoy listening to your conversations. Thank you all, and I wish you all the best." Wow, so thank you so much for the support, Katz. We really do appreciate it, and we're happy to hear that you're learning a lot with Catch Word. Of course, thanks to all of you out there that have been supporting Culips by leaving us comments and reviews on your favorite podcast app as well. It's really helpful for letting other English learners from around the world connect and study with us. So please keep up the great work. Okay, Kassy, it's time to start with our lesson for today. The first expression that we're going to look at is to duck out. To duck out. Duck, like the bird, D-U-C-K, quack, quack. Same spelling, actually a different meaning, but that's the word duck and then the preposition out. And Kassy, I'm curious, have you ever ducked out of a place or a situation before?
Many times, Andrew, many times.
Me too, many, many times. So maybe you could tell us what this expression means. What does it mean to duck out?
To duck out is to leave quickly or secretly. Maybe you're in a movie theater watching a movie and then you get a really important phone call and you're like, oh my gosh, I gotta take this. I'm just gonna duck out real quick and take this call. So you quietly and quickly leave the movie theater. That's a good example.
Yeah, that's a great example. So you're in the movie theater. Of course, that's a very rude place to have a phone conversation. So you have to leave the theater to talk on the phone. And you just want to duck out, leave the theater quickly, talk on the phone quickly, and then come back in so you don't miss too much of the movie. Yeah. Kassy, that's an awesome example. What kind of other situations would you use duck out in? What other kind of places could you duck out from?
Meetings. I mean, you wouldn't want to, duck out of a meeting and just leave forever. But maybe if you have a bathroom emergency or you really have to blow your nose, you don't want to, embarrass yourself. You'll duck out quickly, do your business, and then come back in.
Sure. That's a good example. What comes to my mind is like an awkward social situation. Maybe you're at a party and you just feel uncomfortable. You want to duck out. You want to leave quickly, or maybe leave secretly, right? You don't want everybody to notice that you've left. So you just kind of maybe escape through the back door or something.
I've done that before.
Yeah, me as well. Or maybe you go shopping at the mall and you walk into a store and you just want to browse around the store, but the sales clerk comes up to you and is really aggressively trying to sell you that product, and it makes you feel uncomfortable. And you're like, I just wanted to look around. I didn't really want to buy anything. So in that kind of situation, you make an excuse and duck out. You leave the store quickly because it's just uncomfortable to be there. So I think those are some of the most popular situations where we'd use an expression like this. So I mentioned earlier that the duck in this expression isn't related to the bird that you'll see at the park or swimming in the lake or something like that. Kassy, what does duck mean in this context?
It means kind of like bend over and then move quickly, like in that bent over posture.
Yeah, I get that impression too. So the verb to duck means to, like you said, Kassy, kind of hunch over or bend down or move your head, especially to avoid something, maybe to avoid being seen or to avoid being hit, right? If you are playing tennis and your opponent hits the tennis ball at you really quickly right at your face, you need to duck down to get out of the way, right? To avoid it. So in this expression, even though we see the word duck, it's not related to the bird, it's related to the verb, the action of ducking, which means getting lower or getting out of the way. And I think when you understand that, then this expression makes more sense. So with that being said, I think it's time for us to listen to some examples. So let's listen to the first conversation example with this expression, to duck out.
Let's do it. How was the concert last night? Did you enjoy it?
We actually ducked out after 20 minutes.
What? Really? But I thought you loved that band.
I do, but the concert was just too loud. Our seats were unfortunately right in front of the speaker, and I should have brought some earplugs, but I totally forgot.
Yeah, if you're watching a rock show in a small club, earplugs are essential.
So in this example, we hear from a guy who ducked out of a concert after only 20 minutes because it was too loud. His seat was right in front of the speaker and he didn't have any earplugs with him. So instead of enduring that loud noise and potentially damaging his ears, he ducked out. He left. He went home early. By the way, Kassy, what are earplugs and when do we wear them?
Earplugs are little pieces of foam or plastic that you stick inside your ears to block out noise.
And many people wear them at concerts. I think they're a good idea to wear at concerts to protect your ears.
Or construction sites when you hear those really busy power tools buzzing.
Oh yeah, all the time. Any kind of very loud situation like that, you want to protect your ears with earplugs for sure. Okay, let's listen to the next example.
Okay.
So Paul's having a little party at his place on Saturday evening. I'm thinking of going. Do you want to check it out with me?
I'm not sure. I don't really get along with Paul very well.
Oh, come on. It'll be fun. And Paul's a good guy. He's just a little quiet and awkward. That's all. And you could always duck out early if you need to.
Okay, I'll go. But if it's boring or awkward, I'm ducking out.
Okay, great. I'll let Paul know we're coming.
All right. In this example, we have two friends who are talking about a party at Paul's house. One friend is not excited to go. She's not very good friends with Paul. But the other friend convinces her and says, hey, if it's boring or awkward, you can always duck out. You can always escape quickly and go do something else more exciting.
Yeah, so in this kind of situation, a small party or gathering, maybe you have to make an excuse and then duck out, right? Oh, I'm not feeling very well. I'm just going to go home. Something like that. But here in this context, duck out just means to leave and to escape. Well, Kassy, I think we're ready now to move on to our second key expression for this episode. And it's similar but different. Similar but different. And expression number 2 is to hightail it out of there. To hightail it out of there. And hightail is spelt Highghtail, and it's one word. Hightail, and then we have the word it, it, and then we can add out of there to it as well. Now, the out of there is optional. Sometimes you'll hear people say hightail it. Sometimes you'll hear people say hightail it out of there. I would say that I hear both of them very frequently. So, Kassy, now that we know what the expression is, could you let all of our listeners know what it means?
To hightail it out of there is to leave as quickly as possible. And usually it's because you're kind of running away from something. It could be that you broke something and you're like, oh my God, we're going to get in trouble. Let's get out of here. Let's hightail it out of here. Or maybe you're getting chased by something. You hear this a lot in TV shows and movies, I think. This expression is always in, crazy high energy situations with a chase involved.
Yeah, a lot of action movies probably you see people hightailing it out of there and you hear about people hightailing it out of there. So it's just to leave a place as soon as possible. And I think, Kassy, that what you just said is exactly right. There's usually some kind of dangerous situation and you're usually trying to avoid or run away from that danger. So to use the example that you just said of action movies, maybe you'll see a scene where there's some people robbing a bank and in the middle of the robbery, suddenly the police arrive and then the robbers say, oh my God, we got to hightail it out of here. We got to escape. We got to run away as quick as possible. So that's the kind of situation where we hightail it away from a place.
Yeah, Andrew, I don't know if this is correct, but does this come from like deer running away from hunters? The white-tailed deer, their tails go up and then they bolt to avoid getting shot at?
Yeah, Kassy, that is exactly right. I heard that the origins of this expression are originally with deer hunting, and deers would run away. When they run away, they put their tail up. So it's kind of a high tail situation, and the deers are avoiding the danger of the hunter. So good guess on the origin. I am very impressed. So Kassy, should we listen to a couple of examples with this expression now?
Yes.
All right, let's do it.
So I saw a story on the news about a hiker who ran into a cougar while hiking on Saturday.
Oh my God, that's my worst nightmare. Did he hightail it out of there?
No, he was afraid that if he ran away, the cougar might attack. So instead, he slowly backed away from the cougar until he reached his truck. Then he was able to drive safely away.
That's so scary. I'm glad the hiker was okay. All right. In this example, we heard about a hiker who ran into a cougar while he was hiking. And a cougar, for listeners who don't know, is a kind of wild cat that lives in North America, and it's quite big. Sometimes they're also called mountain lions. And it's not the kind of animal that you want to run into on a hike. Very scary, dangerous, big, wild cat. That's what a cougar is. Now, a mistake that you can make while hiking and running into a cougar is to hightail it out of there. You don't want to turn away and run because then the cougar might eat you. Instead, it's better to do what this hiker did, which is slowly back away and don't turn your back to the animal, right?
Yeah, no sudden movements.
No sudden movements. You don't want to hightail it. And thankfully, in the example, that is exactly what the hiker did. He just slowly backed up until he reached his truck. Kassy, this example was inspired by a true story that I saw on YouTube about a hiker that ran into a cougar, and he actually filmed the whole encounter on his phone. It was crazy, and it made my heart race just watching it. Very scary situation. If any listeners are interested, just go to YouTube and type in hiker and cougar, and the video will come up and you can watch and see what it would be like to be in that situation. But I don't recommend it if you're weak of heart because it's quite scary. Thankfully, he was okay, though. It was a happy ending to the story. Kassy, should we listen to the next example?
Yes.
Let's do it. Hey, I'm looking for Jeff. Have you seen him around? I've got an important question about the sales report that I need to ask him as soon as possible.
Jeff hightailed it out of here like an hour ago. You know him. As soon as it hits 5 p.m. on Friday, he's out of here.
I'll give him a call then.
You can try, but he probably won't pick up. He never works during the weekend.
True. Well, I guess I'll just have to wait until Monday morning to talk to him then.
All right, in this example conversation, one coworker is looking for another, and this coworker, Jeff, is nowhere to be found. It is after 5 p.m. on a Friday, and he has hightailed it out of the office. As soon as it hits 5 p.m., he leaves as quickly as he can. I'm sure our listeners can relate to Jeff.
Yeah. In this context, hightailed is used more in a humorous way, right? It's almost like comparing the office to a dangerous place. It's almost like Jeff ran away from the office. He hightailed it out of there as soon as possible. I don't blame him. He wants to relax. It's the weekend. So that's another way that you'll hear people use this expression from time to time, is when they're being humorous or joking or being funny.
Yeah, that's right. Actually, once you mentioned that, I kind of think of TV shows where a young boy is trying to ask a girl out on a date and he gets nervous when he goes to approach her. So instead of, asking her out, he hightails it out of there and runs back to the safety of his friends.
Or sometimes the girl will see the guy approaching and know what he's planning to do, and she'll hightail it out of there. She'll run away.
Exactly.
All right, everyone, that brings us to the end of today's episode. Thank you so much for tuning in. We hope that you were able to learn something new with us and improve your English with us today. Just to recap what we studied, we learned about 2 expressions that you can use when you're talking about leaving a place. The first expression was to duck out. And remember, that means to leave someplace quickly or quietly. And the second expression was to hightail it out of there. And that means to leave someplace as fast as possible, usually because you are in a dangerous situation. We would love to hear what you thought about this episode. Please share your opinion with us or make some example sentences using the key expressions that you learned with us here today on our discussion forum and comments section, which you can find on culips.com. If you enjoy listening to Culips and you find us helpful for building your English language skills, then we would love it if you could support us. There are many ways that you can do that. The best way is to sign up and become a Culips member on our website, culips.com. And when you do that, you will get access to tons of great learning materials that we have designed to help you build your English fluency. For all the details and to sign up, just visit culips.com. But that's not the only way that you can support us. You can also tell your friends who are learning English to check us out. You can follow us on social media, or you can leave us a 5-star rating and a nice review on your favorite podcast app. That's it for us for now, but we'll be back soon with another brand new episode, and we'll talk to you all then. Goodbye.
See ya.